What's up, YouTube? You're tuned in here with Squidzy, aka Guillermo G, doing a little review on the NES cart Action 52. This game was made in 1992 by Active Enterprises. It is known on the internet as one of the crappiest games of all time, but also one of the rarest games of all time, if you can believe it or not. What I'm actually going to do today is run through the game, play it, and all that. So what we're going to go ahead and do is start with a little bit of the history of Action 52. There's the actual cart right there. That's what it looks like. It's pretty rare. Um, Internet has made this game popular again. This game almost died off to obscurity and nobody ever would have figured it out. It pretty much died because it was so crappily designed and kind of rushed out. Every level had a glitch, and it was just awful. So let's go ahead and start. This is Action 52. Right there, what you're hearing is the intro, which is actually a 90s song called It Takes Two, also called Think. So that's your little intro screen that they got going on here. And then, so I'm just going to go ahead and run through this. The music's not going to match up with the actual games, but I really don't care. I just want the background music. Anyway, this is the first game. This game is a two-player game, so I really can't show you much on it. And it doesn't look very interesting. So let's go to Star Evil. Star Evil is one of the many poorly designed space shooters. The reason I say poorly designed is because you crash, boom, like that, every single time. So it is one of the worst design games that I've played starting off this little thing. So that's Star Evil, right? Man, there you go. More crashing instantly into stuff before you even have a chance to start the level. Wonderful. Alright, Illuminator. This one's kind of like an Atari game. It's set up where you climb these little ladders and do this little thing and all that. And it's a pretty awful little game, you can tell. The thing I don't like about Illuminator is I really can't figure out what else you're supposed to do. It makes no sense to me, but that's okay. Neither of these games do. GeForce Fighter. There's another crappy space shooter that crashed instantly right there. That really isn't worth playing. I was so bored with this game I decided to try to go to the front and see if I could shoot right there and see if it'll shoot through the other side of the screen, which it will do due to crappily designed games. They had some students, I think, help out design these games that were video game students, and obviously they didn't do that good of a job. It's hard to make 52 games, though, let alone one good game. Okay, ooze. Here it is with the title screen. This game's awful. I just kept trying to play this game over and over and over again to see what, if anything, what I could do, and I keep dying like that right there, no matter what. And then I keep going, trying to jump. The jumping is really awful. The controls get hit by pretty much everything and it kills you automatically. So, Ooze isn't a really good game. See, every time I try to jump, I keep dying. It's just ugly design, the sprites are ugly, and it's just jumping, everything kills you. This game was not fun whatsoever. As you can tell. But I still decided to keep trying to play this, to get over this, and I couldn't do it, because the jumping was just that bad. So that was Ooze right there. Let's continue down this train wreck and go to Silver Sword. Silver Sword's like your little Contra wannabe. And the thing about Silver Sword is, it has nothing to do with sword at all. In fact, it's actually just like another top-down shooter, Contra, Ikari Warrior type game. and the sprites are very ugly. It's like they used it from the first game that I just reviewed. They used the same background and pretty much the same tiles. Very kind of gross looking, and it's not fun at all. I'm just shooting straight dead center and seeing how far I can go before I get killed by an enemy. There we go. So like I said, this music isn't going to match up. I just needed background music. So these music probably doesn't go to the game. Critical BP is an awful what the fuck game. I couldn't make heads or tails of this game. I really couldn't. I can't tell you what it is or what it does. It just looks like a regular old space shooter. There's a lot of these what the fuck games in Action 52, and it doesn't make any sense at all. But that's what you're gonna get with Action 52 for Nintendo. And people liked this game because why? I don't know. Okay, so let's go to the next one now. Jupiter Scope, right? Okay, so Jupiter Scope's kind of like your wannabe Space Invaders. You got shit falling from the sky, very crappily designed background. Not very fun or interesting game. All it is a scoreboard. These probably would have been better if they were for the Atari 2600 or even 7800, but this just doesn't fly for Nintendo. As you can tell, there's just no challenge in this game. All you're doing is shooting stuff. That's pretty much it. And I have yet to meet anybody who's actually tried to play these games all the way through. So that was Jupiter Scope. Go to Alfredo. Now this is Alfredo in the attic, I guess, what you are is this guy Alfredo, and you're in the attic and you're killing stuff that looks like bananas or bacon or I don't even know. But anyway. And it's called Alfredo in the attic, but you look to be in a kitchen with a window. But this is one of those really awful, kind of boring games where it looks like they just took the background and looped it, so you just see everything over and over. But I didn't really play it. It's not that fun. Alright, let's go to Operation Moon. Operation Full Moon, I guess. It's another one of those where you crash instantly if you don't do anything, so you have to be quick. Once again, the background is ugly, the sprites are ugly, the controls are real wonky. Once again, classic shitty game from Action 52, Active Enterprises. Alright, so now let's go to this one right here, Dambusters. Believe it or not, Dambusters was actually pretty fun for an Action 52 game, which is hard to believe, but it's the truth. So we're going to continue to play it, because I actually had a little bit of fun playing it. Like I said, it's fun for Action 52, but that's really, really not saying much. Hopefully, my goal with this video is that other game designers and would-be game designers see that you can't make dumb games like this. The reason why these games came out in the first place is because 72 cards, 41 card games, 100 card games were very popular, where they had like 100 games in them. Usually they never really had 100 games in them, they were just like 6 of the same games over and over and over, all ROM hacked. This one is another what the fuck space shooter game. The reason I don't like this one is it's just another fucking space shooter. Like, it would have been good for the Atari. There's no health bar, there's just a score. There's really no challenge, there's no like objective to the mission, you don't know who the fuck you are or what you're doing. Not a very good design of game, in my opinion. But what can you say? You know, people still bothered to attempt to play this somewhere. I, like many other gamers, just wish this game would have died and never came back to life. And still don't see the appeal to Action 52. I just don't get why people like this shit. You know, why people gotta remember shitty games when there's so many awesome games out there. because in my series I plan to do more than just shitty games. Haunted Hill. This one is with that weird chick. It's like a wannabe Castlevania type thing, shooting little ghosts. This chick also appears in other games. They recycled some of the sprites. The background isn't too bad, and the controls are pretty shitty. The shooting is okay. The shitty part, though, is the jumping. They could never get the gravity right, I guess, in any of these games. But, you know, I really don't think they thought people were gonna buy this. I really don't. Chill out. Look, it's like another Atari game. This one I couldn't make heads or tail of it. It looks pretty easy, but you kind of fall into the little blocks there, and then you can fall, and then you die. None of these games are well explained, so you're kind of shooting in the dark unless you look it up on the internet. But who the hell really wants to waste their time and money and effort doing all that? So this is an awful game, in my opinion. Chill out. Funny name though. Sharks. Sharks is an annoying Atari-like game that totally could have came out for the 2600 and nobody would have given two shits about it. And this is all you do is just shoot sharks. It's actually somewhat enjoyable. No challenge in it though. Would be cool if it was for like a cell phone or a tablet, but in 1992 on Nintendo, that game sucks. You have to realize that the Super Nintendo is coming out here soon. Here's another crappy design space shooter, Megalonia or whatever. And this one's crappy, so I tried to shoot through the thing again, through the other side to see if the bullet goes through. Excuse me. The crappy things about these games is nobody ever seems to get too far. And I really doubt somebody actually takes the time to try and beat these games because they're so crappily designed. Most of them have glitches and game-breaking glitches at that prevent you from moving on to a certain point. So that's pretty much that one. And that's what I don't understand. Why would you want to pay for 52 games when you could get one good one? And the Super Nintendo was coming out, so the one good game I got for the Super Nintendo was Super Mario World. And if I had a choice between this shit and Super Mario World, I would most definitely choose Super Mario World. But yeah, like I said, that's just my choice as a gamer. And as a retro gamer, I just wonder what the appeal is to this crappy game. Alright, so that was Megalonia. French Baker is one of these annoying-ass Burger Time wannabe games. Once again, probably would have been better for the Atari than the NES. But, you know, people like this kind of crap. It was probably easy to make. They probably rushed this game out within a year, all these games. And this one's another one. Another space shooter. Look at the cheap sprites, crappy background, level design really isn't much. Like, this was another one that probably could have been done for the Atari. Just another crappy space shooter. I like how Action 52 never ceases to disappoint in the disappointing areas that they have. Alright, so that was Atmos Quake. Okay, Meong or whatever. Weird ass name. This is another what the fuck game. I can't tell if this is a puzzle game, or if this is a space game, or a shooter, or your guess is as good as mine, and I am not going to take the time on the internet to look it up. This is just one of my flagship reviews. And this game really doesn't make sense. Kind of looks like Minesweep, but I couldn't tell you if it was or if it wasn't. So yeah, that's Meong, I think the name is.